Greetings, students. This is going to be one of your Chapter 2 assignments, and as I've told you, I'm not going to go through every step, but these are some fairly complex functions, especially so early in the semester. So I want to cover these functions in detail and explain to you exactly how they work. So first of all, let's look at what we don't have. We don't have cost for the ring types. So where can we find that? Well, right down here, we've got the ring type and the associated cost. So we can use a lookup function, namely the VLOOKUP function because it's vertical, to find our cost. Now, I like to use the insert function button because it gives you exactly the steps and an explanation of the function. So our lookup value is going to be what we do have, which is B5. We know the ring type. And then our table array is going to be down here where we've got in A16 through C19 the ring type and the associated cost in the second column. Now notice that your table array should be absolute cell addresses because when we copy this formula, we don't want those area or that range to change. Now, as I said, the column index is what's going to be returned in our cell, and that is the cost, which is the second column of our table array. Finally, the range lookup has to be an absolute match, so it's going to be false in that argument. Now, we'll copy that down, and you'll note that because we use absolute cell addressing, our table array stayed the same. Our column index number stayed the same, and now we've got the actual cost of each one of our rings. Now I'm going to clear this range. Now we need the total. The total is an if statement because if the ring is personalized, then we're going to add a 5% surcharge that you find down here in cell B21. That's also going to be an absolute cell address because we don't want that value to change. So insert the function, and our logical test is going to be if D5, where the personalization indicator is equal to yes, enclosed in quotation marks, double quotation marks. Now, an if statement is always going to be if a test, then it's true, else it's false. So, if the logical test is yes, is true, which it shows you over here that it is, then we're going to multiply the value in C5, which is our cost, times the surcharge, which is the absolute cell address of B21, and then add that surcharge value back to the cost of the ring. And it gives you 420 because this one was personalized. Else, if the value is false, then we just want the cost returned. And so it gives us the 420. And we copy that down. And then we get, for example, here the cost is, it is not personalized. Personalized. I can't even say that word, students. I'm sorry. So we're returning the value in C7. Then the monthly payment. The monthly payment function is a little bit interesting because we've got the number of years, but we want it in the number of months. Also, down here in cell B22, we've got the annual percentage rate, interest, but we want it to be monthly. So our payment function looks like this. First of all, the rate, the interest rate, is the first argument, and it is in cell B22, which needs to be an absolute cell address. And we're going to divide that by 12 because we want a monthly rate. Then the number of periods, we have it in years, but we want it in months. So, and we're going to multiply the value in F5 times 12 for 12 monthly payments. And then the PV, or present value, is the amount of the loan. Now, this needs to be a negative number because otherwise monthly payment will return as a negative value, and we want it to be a positive value. So always put in present value a negative number, which is going to be the total amount of our loan, which we find here in cell E5. So there's our monthly payment, and we copy it down, and there you've got it. So we did a lookup value for cost, an if statement for the total, and the payment function for the monthly payment. As always, if you get stuck, you have problems, be sure to